This was what she'd waited for all her life, Isobel thought, as Marcus's mouth pressed hers in a sweet yet sizzling caress. Her whole body melted against his as he held her close. She felt his muscles tightening with need. She didn't wish the kiss to end, didn't want him to pull away, needing him to know that she was a woman now, full grown. "Isobel," he groaned against her mouth, his voice ragged with desire. She couldn't say a word in response, her own breathing shallow and raspy, as she wantonly kept him close, her body pressed indecently against his, her hands locked tight around his waist. His hand cupped the back of her head, holding her in place so he could continue kissing her as if he'd been starved for affection all his life. His tongue licked her lips, encouraging her to open to him, the touch the most erotic sensation she'd ever experienced. She parted her lips. He plunged in, tasting her, exploring, making her feel exquisitely plundered. She quickly responded in kind, loving the feel of his heat, his exuberance. He groaned. His muscles tensed, as if he was about to pull away, to end this wickedness, but she clung to him, wanting it to last forever. "Isobel," he rasped out, "I must get you safely home." He pulled away from her, and she let out a moan of protest. "Will you not ask for my hand in marriage, Marcus?" She had wanted it to be his idea, the warrior that he was, but she could not wait any longer. Every dance her father had for her was meant to entice her to find another man to wed, and she couldn't do it. "Ah, lass," Marcus said, leading her to her horse, then lifted her onto it. She noticed only then that the knights were watching for trouble, not them, thankfully, but Mary and Jane were blushing furiously as they'd witnessed the kiss. She was grateful they had not said anything to attempt to put an end to it. "'Tis your da that is the trouble," Marcus said. Her eyes wide, Isobel stared down at Marcus. "Nay, you only have but to ask him." "I have, Isobel. 4 times already this year alone. He is determined to marry you off to an Englishman or Norman." Marcus's face was so tight with distress, his dark brows furrowed, that she knew he wanted to be with her forever, with all his heart like she did him. "He cannot," she cried, not wishing to show him or his cousins her anguish, but she truly had not believed Marcus had offered for her already, and her father had denied him, how many times? You have asked since when?" "Since you were 6 and 10, lass. I couldn't have waited any longer, but still, the answer has always been nay." He did love her, though he had not said so in so many words. "Take me away with you, now. Take me to your home in the Highlands." She would give up everything to be with him. "Your da would send his men for you. How long before he asked for the king's help in the matter? How long before his men and the king's would starve us out? Even King David could side with him." She wiped away a tear and then another. "I will change his mind." She lifted her chin and kicked her horse, calling back over her shoulder, "I will wed no other, Highlander." She galloped back to the keep, leaving Marcus and his cousins behind. His heart heavy, Marcus watched Isobel galloping off, her hair flying behind her like a rich dark mane. The ladies rode after her, the knights following in hot pursuit. Marcus knew kissing her was a mistake. He knew his touching her would kindle the fire between them that he had banked for so long. He couldn't even mount his horse until he could get his rampant need for her under control. His cousins were grinning their fool heads off, waiting for him to ride after her. "Mayhap you should have just bedded the lass," Finbar said. "Put both of you out of misery. Mayhap her da would come around." As if Marcus could ever be alone with the lass to make that happen. The kiss they had shared made him only desire her more. He wanted more than anything in the world for the lady to be his wife, his lover, and the mother of his bairns, but he couldn't bring his clan into this. If he stole her away, many of his people could suffer or die should the Earl and his men fight to have her returned home. Honour bound, he could not take the lady in such a manner. She was too precious to him. He knew how much she loved her father, and it could put a wedge between them forever. "She loves you," Rob said. "Just like I said. How you ever won her over is beyond me, when Finbar and I are so much brawer."